Hey, so this is the first part of the last equations video we'll be doing this year, but we'll be using this stuff throughout the whole year. So in that turn, this is really important stuff to know for the whole year. So here we go. Example number one, I'm asking you to solve an equation, and this has a variable on both sides. I have 3a, which is equal to 2a plus 3. So these get a little more complicated. We have to take our time and really think about what are we solving for and what process do we want, what type of order of operations do we want to deal with to solve the question. I do have my good versus evil. We are going to do, I am going to show a triples method with this for the first two examples, and then the third example we'll talk about in a minute. Well, when we get to it. So for the first example, I'm saying, well, I have 3a equals to 2a plus 3. I'm going to show that with my pencils. I'm going to use good for this, evil for this. And we even have good and evil boxes, but I'm pretty sure we can just use good boxes for today. So I've got 3 A boxes over here, and these have some number of triples in them. I don't know what's in them, I just know I've got A in them. I'm going to put my little force field up, my little dotted lines. And I'm saying I have 3 A's over there, and then I have 2 A's over here, plus 3 good triples. 1, 2, 3. All right, well, let's see. I want to take away something from both sides because it's equal. I want to keep the balance. Well, take one away from here and here. I still have an A on both sides, so I can take another away. So I took away 2 A's from both sides to keep my balance. Well, what do I have left? I have A box over here and 3 good triples. So my answer is basically A equals 3, I think. So that's using the triples and how we do it with the triples. Here's the classic method. I have 3a is equal to 2a plus 3. I'm going to draw a balance line first, and I'm going to rewrite. Don't jump right in. Take your time and really think, what am I solving for? Well, I'm solving for a on both sides. I always go with the passive least resistance. I take away, and I always move A to whatever side will make it positive. You don't have to. Deal with negatives, do what you want, and I'll show how that works in the next example number 3. Well, I've got 2a on both sides, so I'm just going to minus, I'm going to write it like that, 3a, and then I've got 2a plus 3. Oh, I'm going to move that 3 over a little bit. I'm going to minus 2a from both sides. I've got 2 on one side and 3 on the other. I'm the type that I'd like to just keep everything positive. Well, 3 minus 2 is 1, so I have an a over here, 1a, but you don't need to put a 1 in front of a, it's just a. 2a minus 2a, those are opposites, so that's 0. And all that's left is 3. Sometimes you'll have more to do, and that's in the next example. But in this case, we're done. A equals 3, A equals 3. Let's check our answer. 3 times some number is equal to the same number times 2 plus 3. Well, let's plug 3 in and see what happens. Now, the check has become a little different. I'm going to ignore this side. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 3, I'm just using order of operations like normal, is equal to 9. So whatever happens over here, it better be equal to 9 or I messed up and I'm going to have to redo my problem. Well, 3 times 3 is 9, which 9 equals 9. We're done. Perfect. A equals 3. Not too bad. Having a variable on each side doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It just means we got to take our time a little more slowly. Let's look at the next example. 3v minus 8 is equal to 7 plus 8v. First question is, what are we solving for? Only variable there is v. So we're going to do triples first. I've got 3v minus 8, so that's 8 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Let's do my dotted line. Is equal to 7 positives, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, just 7, sorry. A little too carried away with those minus. Ignore that last one. Okay. Plus 8v, so I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, v. Okay, here we go. Let's start. First thing I do is I always deal with the variables first. Got 3 over here, 8 over here. Well, I can take 1 away from both sides, take another 1 away, take another 1 away. Right? So all I have left is my 5v's over here. Well, you want your variables on one side and all your triples in the other side. So that being said, I want to get rid of these positives. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 good triples, and the opposite, evil, will get rid of them. But whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which means I gotta add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because if I add 7 to one side, I better add 7 to the other. All the evil guys, they're over there. They're having a good time. They're all evil. They're evil. They don't care. They're evil. Good versus evil. Intergalactic law of poof. That's a 0 pair. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. So these are all gone. Mr. V, it's looking a little sloppy over there. I agree. Let's clean it up. How many boxes do I got over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want to be fair. I'm going to put a triple in every box. Right? That's what I want to do. So let's do that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 evil triples. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we know by looking at this right here, inside of 1v, inside of v, there are 3 evil triples. So v should be equal to -3. Now that's using the visual method, which is great and everything, but it takes a lot of time. So let's go to a more classical idea. Focus on, alright. 3v minus 8 is equal to 7 plus 8v. I'm going to do my balance line. I'm going to rewrite. For me personally, I know 3 is less than 8. So I'm going to add -3v to both sides. I know you're asking, does it matter which one we go with? Next video, or next example. This is equal to 0. -8 is equal to 7 plus 8. 8 plus -3, well I have 8, I lose 3. 5v. Now it's a two-step equation. Do it. Gonna rewrite. Well, I'm gonna add -7 to both sides. to move 7 away from V. I'm getting 7 away from V, so I want V by itself on one side. Not on both sides, one side. So we got 5V negative is equal to negative 15. Sometimes people at this point would move 5V to one side and negative 15 to the other. If you want to, you can. I'm not going to this time. You know, I've done that before. Opposite of multiplying, well, that's the opposite inverse, so the inverse of multiplying is dividing. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So V, first question, negative divided by positive, you should know is a negative. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Hey, look, V equals 3 again. So I'm going to check, does V really equal 3? I believe it does, but let's make sure. See, so I'm going to just work on one side and then worry about the other one after this. 7 plus negative 24, which should be equal to negative 17. Check me on that. I'll check myself. Here we go. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 minus 8. Well, I'm going to add the opposite. I have 9 negatives and 8 negatives. Negative 17. Hey, look. Negative 17 equals negative 17. Smiley face, we're happy. The classic method. I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering, does it really matter which one we move? Could we move 8V over here? That's a great question. Let's check. If I start with 13x plus 15 equals 11x minus 25, does it really matter which one we do? It shouldn't. It should actually be exactly the same answer. So let's check. I'm going to rewrite. Okay. See, the opposite of minus 25 is plus 25. So, oh, sorry, not doing that first. Let's always deal with x first. 13x is on one side, 11x is on the other. Let's go ahead and add negative 11x to both sides. Well, this is equal to 0. Negative 11. So 13 plus negative 11, 13 positives, 11 negatives, should be 2x plus 15. It's equal to negative 25. Don't lose that negative. Don't lose it. Okay. Now let's solve it. Well, now I'm solving for x. I'm going to add negative 15 both sides. Oh, no, I'm not. Mr. V is going to rewrite first, then he's going to do that. So now I'm going to add negative 15 plus negative 15. This is equal to 0. 2x is equal to 25 negatives and 15 negatives makes negative 40. 2 times x, the opposite of timesing by 2 is divide by 2, or the inverse. So x would be equal to negative 20. So if x equals negative 20 one way, if we do it the other way with moving to 13x, it should still be the same answer, right? So let's check on that. So I'm start by writing it. All right, first step, always balance line. Let's see, let's move 13x, because I know what's coming, right? I know I'm going to be subtracting stuff, so let's give myself some room this time. Okay, well, 13x plus 15x is equal to 11x minus 25. Last time we subtracted 11x, basically. This time, let's add negative 13x to both sides. Well, positive 13x plus negative 13x should equal 0. So we got 15 is equal to 11 plus negative 13 should be negative 2x minus 25. Take a moment and let's think about what our equation used to look like. 15 was positive, it's still positive. 25 was negative, it's still negative. The only difference is 2x was 2 was positive over here. Now it's negative because it's on the other side of the balance line. All right, let's rewrite. Okay, the opposite of minus 25 is plus 25. This is equal to one big fat 0. This is equal to 40. So 40 equals negative 2x. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. This all equals 1. Let's see. Positive divided by negative is a negative. 40 divided by 2 is 20. So x equals negative 20. Hey, look. These are both the same. If I flip this around, x should equal negative 20. Good times. Let's check. So it doesn't matter which one you put on which side. It's the same. It's going to give you the same answer, so long as you don't lose a negative. Make sure you divide by the right symbol. The negatives are basically what gets you. Don't lose a negative, and you'll be okay. So here we go, negative 20, negative 20. We're going to focus on this side first, just because I like to. Positive times negative is a negative. 11 times 2 is 22. Add a 0. We're going to minus 25 again. Well, it's like I owe someone 220 bucks, and I borrow another 25. So really I owe them $245. Let's look at the other side. 2 times 13 is 26, negative 26, add a 0. But I'm adding positive 15, which really means I'm taking away from the negatives, so I'm subtracting, and I should get 245. But what's bigger, negatives or positives? Negatives are bigger, so it's negative 245. Hey, look, they're equal. So x does equal negative 20. So again, it doesn't matter which side you do first as far as do I move the 13 or the 11? It doesn't matter. It's up to you, really. I'm the type that I like to do this, so I divide by a positive. If you want to be a rebel and divide by a negative, go for it. It's all you. Okay, that's it for part 1. Check out part 2 next time.